Without a doubt, one of the most difficult parts about this quarantine so far is the fact that there's no NBA season. Literally, as a guy that has a NBA channel, an NBA news channel, you can imagine how much this is affecting me. So much so that literally I'm doing a countdown every single day on Instagram about what I'm doing to get over the fact that the NBA season is not here. Furthermore, guys, real quickly, I am giving away $1,000 on Instagram, so make sure you guys are followed. I'm going to leave a link to it in the description down below. But what's going on, guys? Your boy, TheFlightMike, back again with some news. And after hearing some fairly pessimistic news from Brian Windhorst in the past, we got some pretty good news today. Now, it is not 100% restarting the NBA season, but it's definitely a step in the right direction. Now, really quickly before we get started, guys, if you're new to the channel, you love the NBA, please take a moment to like this video, subscribe, and turn notifications on to help the channel grow. Furthermore, I do live stream on twitch.tv/FlightMike on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays at 9 p.m. Pacific time. Usually I just play NBA 2K with my subscribers, or we just react to NBA highlights. And finally, I made a new TikTok last night, so if you're a TikTok guy, I'm going to leave a link to that as well. Now, guys, originally we got some bad news from Brian Windhorst, where he said that there's pessimism about the NBA season being able to restart. And to be honest, I feel that pessimism. Every single day I wake up, I literally look at the world and I'm like, wow, we're not really trending towards the direction of being able to get things back to normal. Now, these are my own views. I should definitely keep them to myself. I could be wrong, and I hope I am wrong. Maybe all these days in quarantine are just making me into a negative person, but we got some pretty good news today. And this is according to Adrian Wojnarowski, and according to him, beginning on May 1st, the NBA is allowing teams to open their practice facilities to players in cities and states where local governments have eased stay-at-home orders, sources tell ESPN. So what this means is that it sounds exactly like it sounds. NBA players can now begin practicing in their original practice facilities. But here's the issue with that. Does that mean that the Los Angeles Lakers as a unit are going to begin practicing together? Does this mean that LeBron James could wake up one day and say, hey, you know what? I feel like working on my three-point shot in the Lakers practice facility. I'm going to go ahead and do that. Does this mean that group practices are going to be a thing again? Are teams going to convene together again? Or does this mean that each individual player could go, and if they follow proper social distancing guidelines, they could go back to working out? Regardless, I know for myself, I am losing so many of my gains. Some of you guys have seen what I look like for my TikToks and Instagram and my promos, that I would kill for a gym to open right now. I have a home gym and it's just not doing me justice. I'm trying to buy dumbbells. I can't find dumbbells anywhere. So I think NBA players are lucky about this. But Adrian Wojnarowski goes even further to discuss the intricacies of this arrangement, saying that, according to sources, teams will be allowed to make facilities open to players on a voluntary basis for individual work, but larger group workouts will still be prohibited. In NBA markets that aren't loosening restrictions, the league plans to work with teams on other arrangements for players. So it looks like they just answered my question, and I'm sure that was a question that came to your mind the moment I even brought this news up. So you cannot work out with another teammate. You must only work out by yourself. I hope this doesn't end up trending towards people breaking social distancing guidelines, but regardless, I feel like this is a huge step in the right direction. Like, come on, I haven't heard anything from the NBA about how they're going to try to get things back to normal in quite some time. So the fact that we're hearing this in and of itself is very, very good news. But Woj isn't done here yet. He continues to say that as Georgia moves towards opening certain businesses, including gymnasiums, some players were asking their teams if they should consider traveling there to find a way to play. Organizations want players in safe/clean team environments, not a fitness center in suburban Atlanta. So this one tweet is actually the reason why I didn't have this video up an hour ago for you guys. And it's because I sat here and I was thinking, this is so random. What does this tweet mean? And I'm going to give you guys my analysis. If you think I am wrong, this is one of those points where I'm going to say I could be wrong. I could be interpreting this incorrectly. please post your own interpretation in the comment section down below, because if I'm wrong, then I want to pin your comment and make sure that we get the right interpretation. But this is how I interpreted it. Georgia is probably the closest to opening gymnasiums and opening businesses. I'm going to admit that I have not been looking into the state of Atlanta and Georgia because I live in LA. And as a result, some players in the NBA were asking, hey, should we go to Georgia and see if there's a way that we could all play again to restart the league? And according to this tweet, the way I took it is organizations like the owners of teams are saying, listen, like if we were to restart the NBA or if we were to practice, we want to practice in a nice, clean, and safe team environment, not just some rec center or a fitness center in suburbia, in suburban Atlanta. That's the way I took it. This isn't really a shot at Atlanta. This is more the NBA saying, look, we want to restart the NBA, but under the right circumstances. We're not desperate here. Of course, well, they are desperate, but they want to do it correctly. They don't want to be impulsive. They don't want to put us in a very weird spot or in a weird situation in Atlanta. They don't want people to watch street ball or, a broken down, run down gym as they're watching NBA games or practicing for NBA games. That's the way I interpreted it, but I could be wrong. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. I like only giving you facts, so if this interpretation is wrong, let me know. The final tweet we got was on the future of the NBA. This is the question that I had even before I made this video, and Woj actually tweeted it out as I was making the video. And that was, okay, we see that the NBA is trending towards the direction of opening gymnasiums, allowing players to practice. This is obviously a step in the direction of reopening the NBA. So how are we going to know what's the next step? What are we going to do next? At what point could we reopen basketball at this point? When could we start the NBA season again? And Woj says the NBA's decision on opening practice facilities to players in markets where governments may be loosening stay-at-home orders doesn't mean a resumption of season is imminent. The NBA is still unsure on if/when it can play again, but getting players safely into gyms was a priority. This is huge because, look, I know you might not be thinking this, and going back to my, I'm losing my gains example, dude, imagine being like, I'm just a guy that likes going to the gym just to look good and feel good, right? Imagine if your entire living was based off of how in shape you were. Imagine you're the type of player, especially because basketball is a sport based off of muscle memory. You're the type of player that needs to get up and make elbow threes every single day, at least 500 of them. Otherwise, you're not going to see that shot fall. Well, given the situation at hand, if you're one of those players, then if you're not taking your shots every day, chances are you're going to be coming back to the NBA a little bit rusty. And typically, I wouldn't think that's that big of a deal, but you're not going to come back to the NBA at the beginning of the season. From what it seems like, when the NBA does resume the season, it appears as if the only way this makes sense, they're not going to restart the regular season. I feel like there's going to be a mini 10 to 15 game finish to the regular season just as a warm-up before there's a little tournament in order to see who should make it to the playoffs. And then I believe the playoffs will start. And even then, you're going to still see some players trying to knock off rust. And this is a huge step in the right direction because I'm not exactly sure if the NBA is going to resume its season. If you ask my personal opinion, I really hope I'm wrong. I really, really, really hope I'm wrong. I don't think I just don't see the NBA being able to resume their regular season. I hope I'm wrong, but I don't see it. There's been so much pessimism. I hope I'm wrong. There's some good optimism, but say that they are. Right? Say that they are able to restart their regular season. You don't want a situation where you have players that are typically three-point shooters breaking wide open shots. You don't want a situation where players are going to run and be out of shape in the middle of a playoff series. This is playoff basketball. This is where the spotlight is on the NBA the most. This is where the most intense NBA games are supposed to be played and the most legendary moments are supposed to happen. So you need to do everything that you possibly can to ensure that everybody is in proper playing shape by that time. So if you ask me, I don't know if I'm becoming cynical as a result of being indoors for a very, very long time. But I don't know if the NBA season is going to resume, but the fact that they're keeping the door open in of itself is fantastic news. And the fact that we got this positive news in of itself is phenomenal. So let me know what you guys think about this, man. Do you guys think that the NBA might be opening up soon? Do you think that the NBA is trending in a direction where they could completely restart basketball again? Do you think that this is a mistake on the NBA's part? Because I don't know what cities will be able to open up their gyms once again. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. I really hope things start getting better. Aside from that, I'm your boy TheFlightMike, and I am very much looking forward to The Last Dance tomorrow. And you can expect some content from me as soon as The Last Dance is over. I'll catch you guys then.